The Hangout is live. Welcome to Paint Life TV, where we're here to educate, empower, and equip painters and do-it-yourselfers worldwide. How was my introduction?
You did fantastic. And I am not as good following up. So turn this so I don't have to see myself. I don't like seeing myself.
Where's your introduction? You're the one that...
My introduction is thank you for being a part of this Paint Life community. We're super glad to be a part of it, where people are passionate about painting. So this is what it's about. It's about this community. And we were just talking about our traveling trousers. They got lost. We never saw pictures. We made a cute journal and we wanted to hear their story.
We went through all this effort to do this, and they've apparently gone to the moon.
Yeah, so maybe we might need to get another pair of traveling trousers and start again. I don't know. We were really excited because we're thinking this is, we're going to hear everybody's story. I think
Pro Tall's going to charge us for the next pair.
I think so too. So I don't know.
So sound check, video check, sound check, video check.
Video check, sound check.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, Jake.
I don't see anybody saying that, they can't hear us. So
that's a good thing.
That's a good sign.
That is a good thing.
You got your new shirt on?
I do. Paint Life. And John Burke, thanks for being with us. And people are in green and Lance's wall art. My kids aren't here tonight, so I'll actually get to watch. Oh, Lance, he moved to Texas. How's Texas? I just saw your thing.
Hey, we got Texas on. We've got Atlanta, Georgia on. We've got Florida. Wilmer Ortiz is on. Christian.
Andrew's with us.
Tom, American Christian, 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Ron.
We got Michigan. Chuck H is in the house.
And George, can you say George's last name?
We've got Tumbleweeds floating around the live show tonight. And Andrew says just mute the sound. Here, I'll mute the sound.
Why did you do that?
Just to mess around.
Okay.
Because I can.
To confuse people.
I'm the boss of the microphone.
So if you're with us, thank you so much for being with us. Some people on the chat have green names and little Paint Life Mafia. Could you tell everybody else about that?
Why do those people have little green names?
Why does Ryan Perry not have one from Idaho Falls, or John Harrell not have one? Or
those little green names are people that are sponsors, and for only $4.99.
$4.99.
Not $4.99.
I have to.
A mere $4.99. You can be a sponsor of the Paint Life community, and you get some really cool perks. All you do is click the next.
This is one of them.
You only Paint Life Mafia people sponsors get one. So
thanks for being with us.
We just had last Thursday, we did the sponsors only live show, so only sponsors can get on there and chat,
which was really cool. It was really cool seeing everybody talk to each other and just building this community. So glad.
You get, and it tells you when you go to click the sponsors button, all the perks you get. For some reason, I created the perks and I can never remember them.
Well, one of them is the sticker. With the sticker is a card that gives you a discount off of our store.
Photograph of our ugly mugs.
Oh, the paint expert.
I'm going to be putting together a photograph of me, John, and Paint Life together to give out to those Paint Life Mafia members. They have, what else do they have? What is one of the perks?
The live show.
Come on, John. Tell us, John. Journeyman John's out there. He's Journeyman John's at home. He's on here chatting, so he's hanging out.
Oh, and, Jake, yes, we're an hour ahead of you.
Why is that?
Because he's in Washington. We found that out when we took our daughter to college. Oh. We were in a hurry to get her to college, and then we found out we were an hour early.
So a person asked, so where do you sign up? So all you do is you on YouTube on the channel, our channel. Go to our channel where you would click subscribe. There's a little button now that says sponsor. If you click on that button, sponsor, it's
new sponsor, Gabriel.
New sponsor. So Gabriel figured it out.
Thank you. So John's you're gonna have to send me your address.
Oh, I just remembered. One of the things you get, and this pays for it because you get 20% off your entire first purchase. We send you a coupon, to get 20% off our Paint Life store. So if you want to purchase our shirts, hats, and stuff like that, that pays for the $4.99. And then you get after 6 months, you get one of our Paint Life shirts.
So Daniel's from Moscow, Idaho. So next time we go up to see our daughter in Pullman, we'll have to stop in and take a picture. Stanley.
There we go. We'll let him know.
Yep. And then there was another guy from Idaho Falls, and we go to Pocatello also. So
cool.
You know, we got to connect this awesome neighborhood.
So what do you want? Community neighborhood. It's all good. It's the same thing.
It is.
So
we have our new shirts.
We have our new shirts. They're out. I don't know if you don't understand what that says. It says painter. There's just a few letters missing.
What are they? We're out of school for a long time. A-E-I-O-U, not the vowels?
The vowels. I think the vowels are missing. So yeah. P-A-N-I-N-T and then E. The E's missing. So that does say painter.
Okay.
It's just missing some vowels.
Yes, Brendan, our shirts can be sent to Australia. And I think we can say now we are coming down under.
We are going to Australia, courtesy of Deluxe Australia.
And for the Deluxe accredited painters, you're going to be teaching classes.
Deluxe accredited painters, I'm teaching for 5 days at the Deluxe
in September
accredited academy in Melbourne.
Yep. So if you're not a Deluxe accredited painter, we're going to be able to put the information to you guys, but obviously you could go to their website.
So if you want to come hang out with us in Melbourne, Australia, we're going to be there. We're going to be there.
You have to be a Deluxe accredited painter.
You got to be a Deluxe accredited painter, or you just got to find us on the street.
September.
Because we do have to eat somewhere. And you might just find us at a restaurant.
You're right, George. Vowels are overrated.
That's pretty exciting. So we got A Wood, I think, sent us a shirt. So if you didn't know, you can send us a shirt. If you guys have a company shirt, send us one, because we want to continue to fill up our wall.
Don't rip their address, because I need to make sure he just ripped their address.
Ripped their address. You ain't going to be figuring what that address is.
He's in Brisbane.
So hopefully he put,
we haven't been to Brisbane.
So here's a shirt.
I loved Australia when I went
Send us a shirt and we'll send you a shirt. So guys
cool
on the side. So that's pretty cool.
I like that. See the paint? I like that.
It's a paintbrush.
It's a paintbrush.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like it.
Is there anything with it?
If you send us 2 stickers, we'll send you 2 stickers.
I don't know how I can send them,
the Paint Life Mafia stickers. I blew
their address
really bad.
So if you're with us and you're
that's so not good of me.
It's so not good because I can't mail you if I don't have your address.
What happens when a painter screws up the job? It was A Wood in Bristol, 351 staff or something like that. We'll have to figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll look it up who this company is.
DJ loves the shirts.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So all you got to do is join the sponsorship for $4.99, and then you can get 20% off at the store.
Yep.
And you get a Paint Life Mafia sticker. Somebody read Reglaze Tech in Oregon wants to send us a shirt and hat. We would love a shirt and hat. They just have to, how do they email us and we give them our address?
Send us, email us at live show. John can type it in. Live show at the-idaho-painter.com and mail us your shirt. And when we get it, we'll try not to screw. It'd be good if you put your address in there. So if I do screw it up,
the pants have been found.
Have they?
That's what Ron said. See Dave Schlave's comment above. We'd have to spool it up above.
So we just got sent a whole bunch of stuff today from Rolling Dog.
Have anybody heard of Rolling Dog before?
Has anybody heard of Rolling Dog? So engineered in Europe, I think. And then made in China.
I don't think they're Europe. They're America.
No, it said. I just read it. Watch. Because you keep talking while I find this.
So we are here to answer your questions tonight.
Designed in Europe, made in China.
It's international. We like international.
So they sent us a whole box of stuff, and I pulled this one thing out because
Dwight E. Morgan's from Trinidad.
Because I actually really like it, and so
it's wood.
It is wood.
Wow.
And it's laser etched on there. But
wow, that looks really nice.
I mean, I'm not like, the wood's kind of cool and everything, but I don't really care. It could be plastic if it's just as long as it's durable. But the bar on it right here is super, super heavy duty. That is one of the strongest bars.
And you're strong.
He's
really strong. He's been working out with weights again.
I have.
Yeah.
And so there you have it. And you know, that's.
Oh, Ryan's gonna have a baby. You gotta let us know if it's a boy or girl.
They call this the wire. I'm not sure why they call it the wire, but this is a paint roller. So this is one of the heaviest duty paint rollers I've ever seen. So I do kind of like it. And they sent a whole bunch of these rollers. Has anybody used the Rolling Dog rollers?
I don't know where they're sold, if they're just sold online. We don't know.
Yeah, and this feels really nice. Feel it?
Oh,
what do you think? Is it soft?
It's
Will
very
you
soft.
sleep with it tonight and just put and it's like pillow soft?
It's not quite big
and
enough.
It's like carpet.
But yeah.
Feel that. Tell me what you think.
It's soft. I think paint would ruin it. Isn't it microfiber?
So it's interesting because I thought it was what I would call microfiber, but they call it let me hang on. They call it fabric.
Fabric.
So maybe in China they call it fabric. So to me that's a microfiber roller. It feels really plush. We're testing it out tomorrow. So we got our hopefully our last interior for the season. Well, that's interesting.
Look at Pro Finished Painting says I'm a student. What's interesting about that?
It's too long.
What's too long?
The nap. So it sticks through. It's supposed to be flush right here, and it's got a 1/2 inch sticking out.
Maybe they have different sizes.
That's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird. But you know what? This is not rehearsed.
So it's a 9.5 inch roller, and these are 9.5 inch roller covers. So now
is that a problem?
That's maybe a China thing.
Could that be a problem?
Maybe that's why this. It seems like that might be a problem.
People, tell me, because I don't know. Could that be a problem if you're a painter? Tell me.
I've never seen that before.
Because it seems like paint would collect on the end.
And that would be my thing. And so I've never seen that before. And maybe that's some new high tech thing.
Tell us what you guys think.
Maybe that keeps it away from the wall.
So tell us what you think, people.
That's I think what happens is the engineers, their math, failed them and they miscalculated.
Tumbleweed said a major problem. Thinks it would drip, George.
Rolling Dog, if you're out there, let us know why that is. I'm not sure. That's strange.
Matt Olson, I think we saw that on Instagram, but we've been really busy all day. So we'll get back to you on that. Oh, he wanted you to do a podcast. And I think I said it's okay. There's a couple, but we haven't had a time to talk about it yet.
I've done a whole bunch of podcasts.
Yep, and you have like 2 more that people want. So
I used to be really bad at them, and I'm getting better.
He's getting better.
So if you want like just a mediocre podcast, I'll do it for you. If you want a really good one, I'm not the best podcaster, but I'm getting better.
Andrew said it needs a better engineer. Really, Andrew, tell us, would you use that? Possibly scratch issues in the corners.
Yeah, for the life of me, I can't figure out why. I mean, I've never in my life seen a 9.5 inch roller.
Canada, US 9 inches are different from US 9 inches, but they're the naps are with the roller.
Did you know in China, 9 inches is actually it's actually 10.5 inches, and in the US it's actually 9 inches. And I'm not sure why that is.
Oh, just to confuse us international people. Sometimes it's not good to be international.
I just made that up.
Oh. Sometimes it's not good to be international, I guess.
Journeyman John said we shipped the first package to China. Our first somebody bought a Paint Life shirt.
No.
In China.
Wow.
So
that's shocking.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Because I thought YouTube's not in China, and I've never seen anybody from China.
At least that's what he told me. Maybe I think I heard China. I'm pretty sure. Let me know if I'm wrong, John.
Oh my gosh. Let us know if you have any questions, because we're here for you guys.
Here we go. Let's answer some questions. Japan. Oh, I was wrong. I think. Yeah. Is there a difference between Japan and China?
Oh, don't even say that. Oh, sorry. Don't. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a big difference. So, so I wonder why. So because you're saying we couldn't ship to China.
No, I was saying YouTube is not in China.
Well, that's what I'm asking. The difference. What's the difference between Japan and China?
What, Japan is like an island and
YouTube
it's a country?
Is not in China. There's no such thing as YouTube.
No, they have their own. Remember, they're like a communist country. And stuff like that. They control the media.
That's right.
And stuff like
so
that.
They don't.
Like, who controls this YouTube thing?
They don't have. That's right.
We don't.
So maybe someday they can see us.
See, Jamie says Japan and China, huge difference. Kenneth, sorry you're late. Yeah, you didn't really miss anything.
Have you seen any questions for me to answer?
I have not seen any real questions.
Nobody has
I
a
wanted
question?
you to tell them what the 2 giveaways are tonight.
Oh, tonight we're going to give away. Last week we gave away
so, John.
3 bid packages. Tonight we're going to give away. We actually have an invoice package.
2.
Believe it or not.
2.
So when customers,
2 invoice packages.
2 for the price of 1.
No, 2 different people.
2 different people at 2 different times.
Yeah.
So last time we made it really confusing by doing it all at once.
Yeah.
But when we close out a job after we're done finishing it, John calls you up or he texts you or he tells you something. He gives you the secret code, and you know, and then that secret code you take and, you know, interpret it and then make some sense out of it, and then you send out an invoice. And what do you send out? You send, because you got to somehow get the money. How do you get the money?
I send out an invoice. I either print it and sometimes I email it, and it's usually like the actual invoice page, and then we have like a closing letter. Thank you for using us. If you know you have any touch-ups, fill out the form. So there's a form. If you have any comments, if you have any feedback, so it's like 4 pages.
So there's an invoice package, and to me, I realized this a while ago, quite a while ago, is an invoice package is just as important as the bid package. I mean, so once you get the job, when you want to close that job out, close it out strong, continue to show them really good customer service, show them that you care, not only, you know, now at the end, but you want to hear what they have to say, and you want to give them their voice after you've left, be able to write down what they think about your service and stuff like that. So we, in our invoice package, we have a questionnaire so they can fill it out on their own time and tell us what they think, you know, how we did, how we performed, and if there's anything that we can do to improve. And we take that very seriously. If we get any suggestions, we implement those suggestions. We have a touch-up form, so they can fill out that touch-up form and send it in any time, and we will be out usually that week. There's the estimate of the invoice itself.
So you sell these, but we're going to give away 2 tonight.
We're going to give away 2 tonight. So
and
there's some other things in that invoice package that it's very important to encourage them to, you know, to get on your social media and give you a review, give you, you know, a Google Plus review, an Angie's List review and stuff. And that's one of the things that's going to get you repeat business, is having a 5-star reputation. It's extremely important.
Somebody asked, Aaron Singer said, is Big Stretch a good caulking?
Big Stretch is a very good caulking. So let's talk about caulking. So there's good caulking and there's bad caulking. And I've used a whole lot of bad caulking. And this is interesting. If you follow us on Instagram, what are you on in Instagram? Instagram is Idaho Painter. Idaho Painter. Idaho Painter. I just posted, a company sent us, you know, a whole bunch of their caulking to test, and they were all, you know, proud of it. And they're like, you know, test it out, let us know what you think. We would like you to use it. And the first tubes, we opened it up and we started using it, and the caulking was just pouring out of the tube. And if you watch the video, I mean, some people are telling us, I mean, it's interesting because we didn't just start painting yesterday, and we understand. They're telling you what's going on. They're telling us that we know what's going on. We know why it's happening, and it is a gripless gun, and we understand that the guns do break. We understand that air bubbles get in the tubes and stuff. We know exactly why it was happening. We just made a video just showing it because I thought it was kind of interesting and cool of how fast it was spilling out. But what happens is in the manufacturing process of caulking, if they get any air bubbles in that caulking, welcome, Danielle, it's going to cause a dripless gun to not be dripless. The caulking is going to continue to come out after you squeeze the trigger until that air bubble pops out, and we call that pops. And what happens is when the air bubble comes out, sometimes the air bubbles are so big it'll pop and the caulking will splatter in your face. And there's nothing more annoying than a gnat flying around you here, and there's nothing more annoying than caulking that splatters in your face, especially when you're paying good money for it. And so it'll so I'm still answering this. Okay. I want to answer this question. So there wasn't a question. He was just asked what caulking. So I was just talking about caulking, and so get back to his question. What he wanted to know, Big Stretch was good caulking. Yeah. And so Big Stretch, the pops and these things, the manufacturing process, we've used big stretch. We don't use it a lot because it is, I think, probably the most expensive caulking that I've ever used. But you do get what you pay for. The stuff is absolutely amazing. It's an incredible caulking, and in their manufacturing process, it's very rare that you'll ever get pops in your caulking. The caulking that we use on a daily basis now, kind of our go-to caulking, we get them all the time. And it's annoying. DJ, it says, so I don't get an answer. The feed's kind of moving, and then Chris is talking, so we don't. It's hard to see every question. So if you could re-ask it, then I would be happy. DJ Topham. Topham. We'd be happy to answer it, but I'll see if I can find
they just fly by. Somebody asked about elastomeric caulking.
So elastomeric caulking is a caulking that's gonna have a lot more stretch capabilities to it. So elastomeric caulkings we would use like on stucco, we would use it concrete, anything where you want really good bonding capabilities, a lot better bonding capabilities, and more stretch and more flex than your standard caulking. Elastomeric caulkings are gonna cost you more money, but they're better, and that's what like big stretch is, an extremely stretchable elastomeric.
Somebody asked you, what would you paint stucco? Does that depend on the type of stucco? Because stuccos are all different.
So I know, so painting stucco, the best elastomeric. We've used.
You have videos on it too, right?
Yeah, we use a product called
on YouTube.
Surelastic from Sherwin-Williams. We've had good success with their elastomeric coating. Loxon is another good coating you can put on stucco and put on concrete and stuff, and that's another product you can get at Sherwin-Williams. But painting stucco, we typically use paint on stucco. We use flat paint. If there's stucco that has lots and lots of cracks on it, our typical process is to caulk them with an elastomeric caulking, it's like a concrete caulking that's got sand in it and stuff, like a stucco type caulking. And we use that product, and then we paint.
Smooth caulking would not be good because caulking's rough.
It'll show like a smooth line. We do. It's if you really get in depth on elastomeric coatings, what they were manufactured for, what they're for, and what they will do, they're not the best things to put on stucco. Only in extreme cases where there's a lot of cracks and you're going to back roll it in and do multiple thick coatings of elastomeric coating, then you would use it. But a lot of people think elastomeric coating is what you just put on stucco, but elastomeric coating will fade really, really fast. I mean, it's one of the issues if you put anything over the top of it, because it's extremely flexible. Like some people will put on elastomeric coating and paint over the top of that. And then if you put flat paint, the elastomeric coating is going to flex, the flat paint's not, and it's going to crack. And so John and I did a lot of research into elastomeric coatings, found out that that is not the proper way to treat stucco. So DJ asked this question again. I have a Graco Magnum Pro 17 and painted 19 homes, working for an electrical contractor. How long do I have before it stops? The sprayer? Yeah. Does it, well, how you take care of it? The products you use? There's a lot that could affect that. So if it's, did it say it was brand new? I don't know if it's brand new. Well, he's painted 19 homes with it, and he's wondering. I mean, 19 homes is not very many. That's not that many. I mean, we have sprayers. It all depends on, I mean, he's got a Magnum Pro 17. You know, if you clean it out every day and put, you know, pump armor, pump protector, or automobile antifreeze in it, you lubricate your packings. If you don't lubricate your packings, it's going to, it could end up, you know, wearing out after 19 homes. And then it all depends on what tip size you're running through it. So if you're doing those 19 homes with, say, like a 515 tip, you know, with only 50 feet of hose, it's not going to work that pump very much. But if you got 150 feet of hose on there or 100 feet of hose on there, and you're running like a 621 tip, you're going to be really cranking on that pump and making it work harder. So there's a lot of things that go into making, you know, it last and making it last longer. Now, I mean, you can take maintaining them is so important. Maintaining them, lubricating them, cleaning them, and putting in, you know, some type of we use automobile antifreeze or RV antifreeze, and so that helps in the storage process, keeps paint from sticking to the hoses, keeps it from corroding inside. Here's another thing. I mean, 19 homes, but did the sprayer freeze in the wintertime?
Oh, where do you keep it?
We keep ours heated, and so in heated storage units.
Okay.
So
Stephen Colsar, is that how you say it? None of these brands ever mentioned are in Australia. So we are so excited that Deluxe Australia is sending us some of their products. And so we're going to be testing them out. So we're excited to get exposed to products that are sold in other countries.
Deluxe is shipping us stuff right now. It's on its way.
It's on its way from Deluxe Australia. And we will be in Melbourne teaching classes for the Deluxe accredited painters. So unlike when I was in the UK in teaching, I showed up there, had no idea, I'd never used the products, and so there was a little learning curve.
That was going to be. It was amazing because I didn't have a problem using it at all. The products I used were amazing. So no runs, nothing, but it was easy to use, easy to instruct. But it's always going into an unknown place. Yeah. And them saying, here's your spray gun, spray this trim, teach everybody how to do it, and don't get no runs while you're doing it. And a little pressure. And so
but he does good under pressure.
Yeah, this time I don't have.
Yeah, so we're excited to try those products, but let us know what other products are down there, because we don't know.
Urethanize elastomeric sealing. This is the best stuff New Tone Painting likes to use. Give it a try if you haven't. So
have you used it?
I have, and I used to use it a lot, and I ran into a big problem with it years back, and from that time I stopped. And
was it a bad batch?
No, it was a problem that nobody from Sherwin-Williams could answer why it was doing what it was doing. So we did all of our caulking, nail heads, everything on the house, and then and we typically do the caulking the day before, or sometime a couple days before. We came back, and this was just one example. We sprayed the house, and everywhere where we sprayed the house or brushed the paint on, the paint was fisheye away from the caulking.
That is not good.
So you can imagine what a disaster that was.
That is a disaster.
And so what we noticed in cool temperatures, so because we always start, it's in the summertime, early in the morning, we get up and start around 7 o'clock. We're spraying by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And we noticed that it was fisheye everywhere. And we were having to go back and spot prime with spray cans, primer on all the
Did this happen more than one time?
It happened multiple times, quite a few times. And nobody could answer why. As the temperature would rise, it would stop doing that, and then you wouldn't have to prime it. Like as the sun would get up, the humidity would lower, and the siding would heat up, it would stop. But I mean, we can't just show up and just wait till noon to start painting because our caulking is going to fisheye. And I'm sure that they've probably resolved that problem now, because New Tone uses it. He thinks it's great. I loved the consistency of it. I loved how it tooled, how it spread.
Are you willing to go back and try it?
I'm willing to try anything. You know, the problem is I don't want. It's one of the most expensive caulkings you'll buy. It's like Big Stretch, and it's comparable, and so they're comparable products. But do I want to risk doing a whole house? Because what happened is Sherwin-Williams had to pay me and buy me all these cases of spray primer to go back and spot prime it all. And I don't know. I think, John, that was the last one was Two Rivers. So I did a video on it, but I privatized it so you can't see it.
Oh, but I think that's why we're here, is because we all live and die by the products we use. And it's like, you could be the best painter, but if you are using products that are failing you. And so that's why, we really want to test out products and be open-minded to new things and
be transparent about what's going on out there and what's going on out there with us. So now, with that being said, so like Matt Olson's talking about it, he lives in a completely different area than I live, in temperatures, humidity.
Do you know where he lives?
No.
Where do you live, Matt? I just
assume he lives in a different area than I do. So, things are going to act differently. They're going to do different things according to the environment, the climate you live in, and stuff like that. So, it could have been just something regionally. It could have been bad batch. But one of the big problems with these big corporations is everything is too secret. And nobody wants to admit to anything being wrong or anything being defective. So they come out, they look at it, they're like, we've never seen it before. And you know darn well that they've seen it before. They just don't want to talk about it because they don't want to say, well, now we got to repaint the house.
So before we give away the first invoice packet, DJ says, Chris, you improved me as a small painter out of Job Corps. You taught me a lot and improved my life. Thank you very much.
Cool.
That's why we're here. So thank you for sharing. We really appreciate that.
So my guess, so one of the benefits too, like these people in green, these little green people.
I haven't seen very many green people.
Yeah, Mike S is on. He's got a question. We tried to pay attention to the green people first.
Because they're our sponsors.
Because the sponsors always get preferential treatment because they're paying for it.
Yes, they are.
What about Sherwin-Williams 950A caulking? That right now is our go-to caulking.
We have a bunch of that right now, don't we?
I just bought a whole pallet of it. So it's my go-to caulking.
Have you trouble with it?
He says any troubles with it. And so I'll admit there's a trouble with it, but and that's the manufacturing getting pops with it. Over the last, I would say over the years, we never had an issue with pops, air bubbles in it. Last year, it started, we were getting a lot of them. I think it was the year before and last year we were getting pops, and last year was really bad. And so we went away from using it because it was so bad. And every single tube, there was pops. And another problem with the pops is when you squeeze the trigger is spongy. And as I'm getting older, my hand, the grip, it wears your grip out because you have to keep squeezing the trigger instead of squeezing it once. You got to squeeze it multiple times, and then you got to. There's that gnat again.
We really can't make this stuff up.
You can't. I got him. I'm sorry for you people that like bugs. He's dead. Unfortunately, he's dead. Ended his life.
Okay.
It's the pops. It's so annoying, and you gotta hit the gun to get it to ratchet. So I'm constantly, I hit the plunger. So when it's doing that, I hit the plunger on something, my hip or something, keep going, and until that pop comes out and stuff. And so they had a bad problem with it. And so we went and tried a whole bunch of other companies. We've tried White Lightning, Lighthouse, and a handful of others, and every one of them did it. Every one of them. And I used to use White Lightning and loved White Lightning. I really do like, but in order for us to switch, I wanted one that didn't have pops in it. And every one we tried had the same thing. So we went back to 950A, figured that they're all just made out of the same dang place, manufactured by the same company, and that the same company that wants to send us out a bunch of defective tubes with air bubbles in it. And it's absolutely obnoxious. What it does, because it leaks, and it just leaks, and the guys are dripping caulking everywhere, and it's a mess. So, hey, family man's hanging out.
So I'm sending a thing to John. We're going to give away the first invoice packet. We're halfway through the show.
We're halfway through the show.
So 1 through 50.
When you get an air bubble, it's not dripless anymore. So, and that's Gary Jacquard said that. So that's what happens. Like a dripless caulking gun, you squeeze the trigger, caulking comes out, you release the trigger, it stops instantly. That's a dripless gun. A tube, if there's an air bubble anywhere in that tube, your gun is not dripless.
I sent the number to John.
Journeyman John has got the number for, and what are you giving away, Lisa?
An invoice package. And so
Paint Wife Lisa.
Well, you guys are trying to win that. I saw a winner, but we'll wait for John to verify.
Chicken dinner.
We'll wait for John to verify. Next week, we're going to have a pretty good giveaway.
Oh, we're giving away a Titan Apex gun.
A gun. It's the only gun that we like.
Huh?
Maybe a gun, you shoot the house and make it pretty. Paint gun. I don't know.
I don't know where you're going with that, but okay.
Okay.
We're giving away, Titan came out with a new gun, an Apex gun. I showed it. I think we showed it in our last live show.
Okay.
Adjustable trigger hand.
John picked a winner.
Did he pick a winner?
Yep.
Where's the name?
He just sent it.
I don't see it.
Where did it disappear? It disappeared. Oh, there it is.
Oh, so a winner is Rick Hopkins. Rick Hopkins, you are the winner of one of our invoice packages. Yeah. John will live show at the-idaho-painter.com. All you got to do in order to get that, you just email us, and then I'm going to email you the passwords to download it.
Yeah.
Really simple.
Very simple. And so John Shine keeps asking, stainable primer, any good, and does it work? I've seen that question a couple times.
Stainable primer, any good, and how does it work? John Shine asked that.
Yes.
Well, now that's interesting.
No,
I'm
Bobby.
not sure what product he's talking about. And so,
well, what I think I read early before, like, is there any primers that you prime and then you can stain over?
It's an interesting question because like the stains we use, and I'm not now, are we talking semi-transparent, transparent, or solid color stains? Because the solid color stains we use are self-priming. You don't need a primer with them. So to me, typically stains are something that absorb into the wood, and paints or create a top coat over the wood to kind of explain it simply. So if you're priming it, now your stain can't absorb into, like a solid color stain absorbs into the wood, into the fibers of the wood, creates bite. It won't peel like a paint would, because that paint creates a top coat. It's more of a thick top coat. So now a primer is not going to allow that process to happen. So I'm not sure what the primer, why you would be using it, what it's for, what the application is. What are we priming with a stainable primer, and what are we putting over the top of it? Is it a log home? Is it a piece of furniture that's bare wood? Is it a door that's you want to gel glaze, and you're putting a stainable primer over a fiberglass door, and then you want to gel stain it to make it look like wood? Is that what we're trying to do? I'm not sure.
Yeah. So Jordan 23 said Super Deck. You like Super Deck, don't you? Jake, we already got a winner.
Ron Thrall just said something and explained it and I've never used this terminology. He said, paint coats, stain penetrates. I mean, that's the simplest way you can explain it right there. And I like that. So I'm going to start using that. Jamie Tesser, what kind of plastic was on your 3M masker on your Instagram video you posted today? So that was Jamie Tesser. So I don't have any.
German De Leon says, please turn on caption close CC. What does that do? Is that to translate? Do people want to translate captioning? Yeah. What does that do?
I'll look over here when I answer that question. I'll see if I can on the info settings, and because I think it'll put closed caption. It'll put captions on there.
Okay. Joseph T, thanks for being with us. Michelangelo's painting. Where are you from? I'd like to know.
So the plastic film that I was using, Jamie, we stock it in all of our vehicles. And we only stock one size, and it's 3M plastic, and it's 72-inch masking film. And I'm not sure what the model number is, but we buy it by the case, and it comes 12 in a case, and it comes with a free hand masker. So we just bought like 10 cases of it. And so you can get it in multiple sizes. 3M makes it. We sell it on our tool store, our Amazon tool store. So go to our website.
We have two different tool stores.
TheIdahoPainter.com. Go to our tool store, our Amazon tool store, and we sell it right there. But it unfolds to 72 inches, and you can get different lengths. But instead of carrying all the different lengths, which I used to, we just carry 72, so we don't have to worry about all the different lengths.
Jacob keeps asking how you estimate cabinet jobs.
Very good question. So let me see if I can see that
closed caption
thing.
That is a good question.
Now that
German, we're trying to do that right now.
It's hard for me to. I mean, I think what I'll do is look into that for doing it next time.
Yeah.
Now that there's caption certification, double options. I'll have to figure it out next time. That's good. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
It'll make the show. I'll end up starting to focus on that. But now that he brought it up, bam, we're good to go.
Can you push the feed down?
So how do I bid cabinets? And I make things this
simple.
Way.
Simple.
I just want life to be easy. I want bidding to be easy. I just want the painting process to be easy, go smooth, and everything, and fast, efficient. But I want it to look, top notch, professional. So my bidding process doing exteriors is very unusual, but it's very simple. My bidding process for cabinets is very unusual, but very simple too. I would say maybe not unusual compared to some people, but I have a price per door or drawer front. So all I do, I don't even have to go to the job site, because we can call up the customer and say, count how many drawers and doors you have. And I charge based on that. And how much do I charge? I charge $125 per door and drawer. And that's pretty simple. And that would be my cabinet bid. But there's a few other things to throw in there. Are the inside, typically 90% of the time, the inside of the cabinets are like white melamine, or there's some type of unpaintable surface. They could look like wood, but be melamine or coated with something. We're typically, it's very rare we paint the insides. If we paint the insides, we have an upcharge of about $500 to do the insides of the cabinets. If there's doors, that have like glass windows in them and stuff, and we call them like picture doors, and so because you can look through them and see what's inside the cabinet, we charge, if there was only 2 of them, I wouldn't charge anything. But if they were all like that, I would add a little bit extra, because you're going to have to do some masking on that door, and it's going to take a little bit extra work. But usually there's not a whole lot. My bid includes all the doors and drawers counted up. We come up with a number, $3,500. That includes the sides of the box. So that includes the face frame. It's all included.
Not inside.
But not inside. So it's very simple. But if you run into cabinets that are oak and they're extremely grainy, those take more work than most cabinets.
Oh, fillers, more product.
Because we have to fill the grain in the oak and stuff. We have an upcharge of, I think it's either $500 or $800 for oak grained cabinets that we charge additional to get rid of the grain.
But for us, we try to not say this is our price, because we are in a different market. And so we don't know what your labor costs are, what you need to make for your overhead a day to bring in. And so that's where, you know, it's hard from one market to the other to say bid it for this price, because in one area you can make a really good living, in another area you're not making any profit.
You can't, and you can't take my numbers. And I mean, my numbers could maybe be too high and you would never get the job. Or maybe they're too low and you're just underselling yourself. So you have to take my numbers, and then I take my numbers and then just add a little bit of human element into it. And
that's a good word, human element.
And the human element is just looking at it is, are these cabinets, you know, extremely banged up, dirty? Are they knotty alder where there's knots all over them? We're going to have to seal, bond all those knots. Are they already painted? And it's going to be very simple to paint them. They're clean and good condition. So there's some of that goes in there. So because once I get the number, the cabinet number, you know, bid, sometimes we'll just raise it by 200, lower it by 200 according to the time of year. If you ask me for a cabinet bid right now, like I told you, I threw out $125 per door. If if anybody asked me for a cabinet bid right now, it's probably going to be about $150 per door.
Well, and we're not doing them until the fall, because of just our company, how we do our business. But my guest says Sherwin-Williams cashmere or super paint.
Cashmere, by far.
Okay.
So cashmere is one of our favorite interior paints.
And George says, is there any advantage to tinted or gray primer?
So there is an advantage depending on the top coat. So for instance, on a primer, if I'm on an interior wall, if I'm priming the wall, or if I'm painting the wall like a red or a lime green or something like that, a tinted primer is going to make your top coat cover way better, faster, easier, less coats. So we, I think it's a P4 is what we would tend to.
Because he put P1 through P6.
Yeah, P4 is kind of common what we use. We'll use a P4 primer when we're doing interior walls. So vibrant colors or reds or.
Renova Painting says dye penetrates. Stain can penetrate a little on softwood. But that's not what it's supposed to do. It's basically dirt that sits on top. Is that?
Well,
that was interesting.
That's the dye. Or the stain itself, the stain has all kinds of things in it. There's going to be the tint and stuff like that. If you consider, you know, if you got some raw umber there, the tint itself, if you consider that dirt, I guess, you know, that dirt is it's going to work its way down into the pores itself. I mean, I guess it's a different way to put it.
Somebody said, well said, Lisa, but I have no idea what I said well, but that's okay. Thank you. Nuke Brock says, I know you use lacquer, but what paint would you recommend for cabinets? In your older videos, I believe you use Pro Classic. Is that so? It isn't so.
Do not use Pro Classic on your cabinets ever. You're going to have an absolute nightmare. Here's here's a good situation. I had somebody just recently last week pay to talk to me on the phone. Had a bunch of problems painting cabinets and all their trim in their house. It was an absolute nightmare. They bought some paint from Lowe's, and I can't remember what it was called, but they bought, and it's actually a Sherwin-Williams product, because Sherwin-Williams sells, it's labeled in Lowe's, and but I can't remember what it was called. And they're having a nightmare with the eggshelling, running, and all that stuff. So, you know, I worked it through them, tip sizes, pressures, all that kind of stuff. And then I told them, don't use the product anymore. Stay away from Lowe's. It's do-it-yourself stuff. Even though he's a do-it-yourselfer, he was trying to spray it. I said,
they're not made for spraying.
The product wasn't made for spraying. I said, go to Sherwin-Williams. Tell me what is available there. One of the products that was available was their pre-catalyzed water-based epoxy. Great product for spraying cabinets. And then I told them another product was PPG Breakthrough. Is PPG in your area anywhere where you can get a hold of Breakthrough? And then I gave them a couple of other options. And so the one option we went with was the Sherwin-Williams pre-catalyzed epoxy. And this guy doesn't have any experience spraying. Went back, told him what to do. He sprayed it, called me up, said it is absolutely amazing. The cabinets came out awesome. So it's really cool.
That's very cool. So DJ's saying he wants a one-on-one with Idaho Painter. We're here because we want to create a community that's helping and encouraging. But where we're at right now is you run a small painting business that keeps you busy, and then you're busy with doing all these other things. And we have, you know, hundreds of questions a day, and we do our best to try and answer them. And so if people do want extra support, they can go to our website, right? Yep. And they could, it's www.theidahopainter.com.
You don't have to say the www.
Well, okay, you don't have to say www. So, but we have extra phone support, email support. We have some extra things where if you really did want one-on-one with Chris, that is available, you know, and then that's just because he's got to sleep at some point. And if he called and talked to everybody, he wouldn't. But Steven wants to know, do American painters tint their own paint?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. Do you guys down in Australia tint your own paint?
I've done it before.
You have?
I've gone to Sherwin-Williams and they've given me tint, and then I've taken it and tinted the paint. But you can't control like the paint to get the consistent color every time. You got to be able to control like every part, every drop that goes in there. If you put one drop here, you got to be able to do it over and repetitively and stuff. I've used it just to try to come up with some custom colors and stuff like that. But the tint itself, you can get the squeeze tubes of it and stuff like that. It's possible. Some painters do it to do certain custom things and stuff like that, but it's not like common practice. No.
So some people have given some money, but I thought it's a good time to tell people about the sponsorship.
Why are people in green? You can be a paid sponsor for only $4.99, and that paid sponsorship gets you some pretty cool perks. You get to be green. You get these cool emojis, and these emojis are only here.
There's Chuck H.
Those are only people that are paid sponsors get them. You get a Paint Like Mafia sticker. You get to be part of our once a month live show with Journeyman John and I. Last time we just had our live show. Journeyman John's wife was sick, so he couldn't be here at the show, but next time. And so you'll be able to just chat and talk with us. Only the paid sponsors can do that. You get a picture that we send out with our crappy autographs on them. And you can just throw it away if you don't want it. You get one of our shirts, you know, after 6 months of being a paid sponsor.
See, and there's some other cool. See, he just put happy face. So
Andrew Slovacek, what is the most important thing you learned not to do when being a painter? Also, did you know it's impossible to bite your elbow?
I could bite your elbow. That's not impossible.
That's interesting. I'll try. Okay. I'm not going to try it here, but after the show I'm going to try it.
Okay. What's the most important thing you've learned not to do?
Not to do. Maybe I shouldn't probably say this on the live show.
No, maybe
I'll go to something else.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And I'll go to.
It's good to have a filter.
It's not bad words or anything.
Yes. Okay.
But one thing I've learned not to do is if I'm unhappy with something about the job, or unhappy with something about the customer, or something that was said, something done, or I never talk about it or I try not to when the customer's around. And I never try to talk about it on the job site, because you never know when the customer's around the corner. So if you're unhappy with, you know, how something turned out, or unhappy with the colors, or unhappy with, you know, product, you know, it's good practice to, you know, save those conversations for when you're off the job site, so the customer won't hurry. And here's a for instance, we were working on
move that thing. So
we were working on a job, and I was unhappy with the job was an absolute mess. It was a disaster, and the property wasn't maintained. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, these people are like just total slumlords and stuff. And the realtor, there was a realtor walking around, and the realtor came up and said, they know the property owner, and they were like, well, we don't think it's, you know, that bad and stuff. And so I was like, well, you know, I said something that offended them, because I was like, the property's not maintained very well. It's not fair to the renters and stuff like that. I should just keep my opinions to myself and say them like off the job site and stuff, and not say it on the job site.
But if you're not happy with something, it's better to let things simmer down, and then you could discuss it when you have things in the proper perspective. So it's not thrown out. So
that's like a complicated one to say of what not to do. I try to I made that a little bit complicated, but thank you. The family man gave a you know,
$2
super chat. Jacob gave a super chat. Andrew gave a super chat, and Nuke Brock gave a super chat. Thank you very much.
So Mike S says, plus the homeowner's Alexa is recording you. And so that is the day and age we're living in, where people do have security cameras and everything. I mean, we have, what do we have? What are they called? Those little birdie things at our cabin?
So say, and okay, I'll say it, because we were up in the mountains, and I'm going to say what I wasn't going to say, because it doesn't, I don't think it sounds that bad. So we were up in the mountains, and I went to go do a bid. You drove me there to do a bid on this property.
Okay.
And so you're in the mountains, and when people go backpacking and fishing and hiking and stuff, in the mountains, you just go to the bathroom by the tree.
I can't believe you're going to say this on the show.
So, I mean, I was doing the bid, but we were out in the mountains, and I was like, you know, I was like, had to go to the bathroom really bad. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no porta potties around. We're out in the mountains, like a long ways away. There's no place to go to the bathroom. I was like, well, if I just go take a leak by the tree, you know, it's no big deal. We're just in the mountains where, you know, the bears are and the deer are. But then I was like, you know, with today's day and age, you know, you have cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
And that would be a pretty bad, you know, look, you know, that if you're, you know,
going to the bathroom at somebody's house when you're supposed to be doing a bid on.
I mean, it wasn't like on their house. I mean, I'm out in the woods somewhere, you know, walking through the woods. But it just, I mean, you just never know. I mean, it could be a really bad look. So even though I was way out there and in the meadows and stuff, I was just like, I better not do that, because there could be a camera.
Yep.
You never know.
No,
you never know when a drone's flying around.
Well, yeah, with you, we don't know. But I mean, I think that's just, I mean, you need to be wise.
That wasn't that bad, was it?
No, it was not that bad. Not that bad at all.
You'll probably tell me it was when the show's
up.
You're like, oh my, I can't believe you did.
No.
You're such an idiot.
Okay. Do you take HOA exterior paint jobs? Yes.
Well, does a bear poop in the woods?
Okay. Why did you read that? I just asked you a question. Sometimes you shouldn't read questions. That's why I read them.
I mean, I didn't see where it was going.
Oh my
Okay, I'm also here in Washington, Vladimir, and I could do.
Okay. I just read a question, and you didn't even listen to it.
Go ahead.
Okay, I said, do you do HOA exterior paint jobs? Do you work for HOAs?
We do. I mean, well, when it comes to we specialize in interior and exterior repaints. That's the bulk of our business is, and mostly residential repaints, but we have some HOAs we do a lot of work for. We've got some prominent places and some companies that highly refer us. And so in those HOAs, we do apartments, we do condos and some stuff. We don't like to, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my philosophy real quick. Let me see how much time I got, 52. And working for like an HOA, if you get stuck on like an apartment complex, say you're doing this apartment complex for a month, and we've done one that took us 3-4 weeks, one that was like a month. If you think about it, and you're in like our business, you're stuck on one job for a whole entire month. So you only have one person that's happy with your business, and that you can remind to do referrals and get referrals from, versus if you're doing 5 exteriors a week, which we commonly we're doing, and 5 times 4 is 20. So in that same month, you can make 20 people happy. and get 20 people on your email referral list that you're reminding. And if you think about that, if that's all you do, and it's the same with new construction. If you're just working for one builder, you'll never build up this database of customers and a database of email lists where you can remind people who are constantly referring you. So my philosophy is we will do that for some people.
We've done a little bit, but yeah, I think you have to, that's a good point that you bring up. You know, if that's the market you want to go into, it could be a really good market working for some HOAs and some big property management companies. But
they typically want less.
They slow down. And
they typically they want really killer prices is typically what most of the ones we work for. It's not that case, but most of them, like a lot of them in the past I bid for, I mean, they want rock bottom prices that we just can't work for. We're not willing to work
so
for.
Nuke Brock, thank you very much. And Renova Painting. So Renova Painting. We want you guys to know that if you give $4.99, you become a sponsor. And you get a sticker, and you get immediately 20% off.
But you have to go. You can't.
You got to click the sponsor button. But I don't know if they know that, and so that instead.
So any of you guys that are giving super chats, if you want to just go click that sponsor button, it's only $4.99.
Yeah.
And then you get some really cool perks.
Yeah, and so DJ, you need to email me at liveshow-idaho-painter.com and talk to me. So
Paint
DJ.
Wife. Mafia sticker. Paint Wife Mafia. There we go. I just mixed the sandpaper into the paint.
Okay.
Like that makes sense. So if you mix the sandpaper into the paint, when you spray it on, the sandpaper does a sanding. And it's like kind of like a one coat paint.
Oh my gosh. Somebody asked, what about you think about deglossers?
We use them all the time.
Do you?
We use deglossers all the time. We use the deglosser
Email
today.
Me, DJ.
So every time we paint interior trim, today we were painting interior trim, and we shot a video today spraying the ceilings, and it's going to be a really cool video.
Okay.
We were using the Titan Apex gun in the video, but we shot it in how to spray ceilings.
Is the Apex gun a new one?
Yeah, it's the new one.
And we're giving one away next week?
We're giving one away next week.
How do they go to apply to get it? What are the rules?
Go to our website, theidahopainter.com, and go over to the giveaway tab on the right, and it's self-explanatory. Click a couple buttons, and you get entered to win.
Do they have to be with us?
You have to be with us on the live show to win.
Next week, sorry.
all of our giveaways are the same. You got to come to the live show. We give it away to somebody that's on the live show. We give you 2 minutes once we announce the winner to claim it. If you don't claim it within 2 minutes, we pick another person. So, but back to deglossers. Every time we spray trim, we don't sand, we degloss. And so we take XIM or M1 deglosser, and we rub and clean all the trim with the deglosser. Then we go back with clean rags, wet rags, and we wipe it all down.
I think our kid wanted to watch us. Misty, what's your, I think it was a son I saw, or daughter. Tell us their name so we could say hi to them.
Oh, hi.
What?
You said to say hi to somebody.
Okay.
Wish you guys could do some videos on advanced spraying techniques for built-ins. So that's a good.
Yep. Gleam.
That's a good. Gleam. That's where we do our giveaways. The Gleam is what manages them. So we have a whole list of ideas and stuff for videos and stuff, and that would be a good video topic. I'm going to be doing some advanced spraying classes in Australia. I'm going to video those, and those will eventually be posted on YouTube. So stay tuned, because that's going to be very formal classroom environment and everything. It's going to be videoed, and that will be done.
So if you are in Australia, we are coming to Australia the beginning of September for Deluxe Australia, and we are coming to do classes to the Deluxe accredited painters. So if you're not one, go to their website, find out how to become one, and hopefully we can meet you. But we have one more giveaway.
Don't power wash yourself, but you can power wash stucco.
Oh, Andrew, what would we do without you, Andrew?
But yes, you can power wash stucco, and we always power wash stucco before we paint it. We always power wash our houses before we paint them. So
Melbourne in September. But if you got to go to Deluxe Australia, and they'll have information.
How long has John been with us?
Like
13 years, something like that.
Oh, look, we got a new sponsor.
Got a new sponsor.
Yay.
New sponsor. Welcome.
MIK. 1231616.
1231616. 1231616. Bam.
It's
pronounced. You need to scuff
deluxe,
in between coats of spraying cabinets.
We're bad.
John Shine, when we spray cabinets with the lacquers we use, we do not scuff in between coats. We rub them down to feel if there's any rough spots. We'll prime those rough spots and then go. See, here we
Dave
go.
Shave says, "How do you like the Mighty M washer?"
The Mighty M products make absolutely killer pressure washers. Absolutely love them, and they didn't pay me to say that. That was for free.
Okay, we're about time to wrap, and so we're going to give away one more invoice packet.
And if you put that any lower, the people will be able to see it.
You mean higher?
Higher. Barclays says, would you guys think about coming to Canada? We would love to come
We would love to come to Canada. You need to get in touch with us and give us some type of deal to get us there.
Yep. Get in touch with us, Barclays. So, DM me when you guys get a chance on Instagram. Thanks again, guys. Keep up that. We will DM you, Matt Olson.
I think that's about the interview.
So people are already giving numbers.
Yep,
so,
there is a number. I already sent it to John. This is for the invoice packet.
And we're giving away another invoice packet tonight.
Oh, Nuke Rock,
thank you. Nuke Rock is this.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining.
You need to email
the crowd.
He needs to email me so I can send you your sticker.
Yep. C&H Painting.
Chris. Thanks for being with us. Austin Sharp. Thanks for being with us. George, we're so glad. He just bought his Mighty M, and it works great. So good to know.
Love those things. Ours is a 5,000 PSI model. Yeah.
So, Jordan 23, Jake Starling, Ron
Look at all these people. Pro Finish Painting, Regina's on. Jake Starling's, all
Ryan
our sponsors are on. Ron Thrall, another sponsor's on. Apex is another sponsor is on. Look at all these sponsors. Just giving them all a big shout out for $4.99. They're sponsors.
And I need to mail off some stickers. We got some new ones.
Sponsorship you can get.
And it is just a promo thing YouTube's doing. So hopefully it will be around for a while.
It's not a promo. It's a beta program.
Program.
I'm one of the testers for the beta program to see if it's going to.
Whitkins Painting. Where are you from? Thanks for being with us and joining.
The number was 22, and John found the first one he found was Vladimir Fendich.
Vladimir, this is to you. I think he's from
where?
Washington, I think so.
Oh, he's from Washington.
Yep. So we'll get that sent to you. You're gonna have to email us, and we'll just email it to you.
Cool name.
So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Kenny, for being here from Savannah, Georgia.
Shout outs from Kenny. There you go.
The family man got my sticker, Jake, and John Burke. Take care.
What's up? How do you register to win the things you're giving away? Last thing, announcement. If you want to enter to win the Titan gun, I just entered it right before the show.
Yep.
It's on our website, theidahopainter.com. That's where we do all of our giveaways. There's a tab, giveaways. Hit that tab, and right there, you're going to see how to enter to win that gun. So there you go.
Thank you so much for being with us and being a part of this awesome community.
Awesome community.
Once
again, it was fun being here. And
was it? Oh, I saw myself scary.
There you are. That would be you right there.
That'd be you.
No, that's you.
That's you.
That's you. So, should we just sign off and say bye to everybody?
Good night. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.